You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek. You're
Are we
great.
gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
We
great.
should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev
So
Nips. I'm
great.
Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? Out of the darkness at that point.
I don't know, but you're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
Hey, you're great.
Hey, you're great.
You're
Hunter,
great.
you're both great.
Hunter's
Jumping on board Hunter. Knows
Both
what he's
feet.
doing. Sometimes you tell someone they're great.
Old Hunter jumps on board, Roberts.
I've often been called that.
Because he keeps jumping on people's boats when they don't want him
Yeah.
on the boats.
I did not ask permission to come aboard. I was like, let's do this.
We're
Skipper.
here and let's fucking sail on, my friends. Let's just sail on.
Sail on.
Come sail away.
Welcome to the Hug Life Podcast. I'm Monica Nevi.
And I'm Mike Coletta.
And this is our podcast. It's about
And
positivity and
This is our
love.
podcast.
In Tennessee
We are in Tennessee.
with Hunter.
Is that where we are? Oh,
I'm
shit.
very sorry that you all are in Tennessee.
We
I
have
like
our
Tennessee.
special guest, Hunter Roberts.
Hunter, both feet in.
Hunter
Roberts.
Always on board, Roberts. Hunter doesn't walk the plank, Roberts.
I was going to say, Hunter, walk the plank, Roberts. You live here?
Ish.
Not
I
here
live,
in this house, but
Not
like
here in this house. I live right across the state line of Virginia.
Okay, so you do live in Virginia.
Yeah, I live in Virginia.
All right.
It's a town called Gate City, Virginia. I like to describe it as that house that Sirius Black lived in Order of the Phoenix.
I get that reference. Monica does not.
You're not a Harry Potter
Points
person?
for you.
I'm just not a person, really.
Okay.
I found out on this
Real.
tour. People are like, "Do you like anything?" No. Okay, cool.
Yeah, she likes basketball and kale.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
pretty much.
I
much sums it up.
I describe Gate City as that house because nobody knows where it's at unless you tell them specifically.
Is it cool?
It's filled with antiquated things, and a lot of the people that have lived there have very particular beliefs about pure-blooded people.
Oh,
That's pretty much where I live as a
So
town.
here's my question for you.
Pure-blooded.
You ready for this?
I'm prepared.
So are you in West Virginia or Virginia? You're in Virginia.
I am in Virginia.
I don't
you
know.
talked about West Virginia. You said.
Maps.
So now, is Virginia still the South, quote unquote?
We went blue in the last two
Oh, really?
elections, so I think
So
we're not. I
straight
think
up
we're not
Eiffel
allowed in
65.
anymore.
I was going to
all
say, but if
blue.
we were saying like, "Oh, we're going to the
Woody-dum-dum.
South," would Virginia count as part of
I'm
that?
not particularly sure where the Mason-Dixon line is. I know that that's the separation between.
Is that
is
okay?
separation?
We should
But
look
I'm not
that up.
sure exactly where that is.
dude,
We
I'm a-
Google a lot of things as we're
I
driving.
know that my particular county is the South. I don't know if it's like up above or below, but it is very southern.
All the states here are very interesting because they're really close to each other.
Yes.
Like in Washington, we have to drive, well, to the east, we have to drive like 6 hours before you get to another state, and then
People-
like 3 south. So, well, if you drive slow.
When they
Anyways,
were designing the states, I feel like on the East Coast, people were very particular about what they were. And then once you start to go west, people were like, fuck it, this is a square.
yeah, like I got.
Let's make this take up as much space as possible. That's all. That's the only reason Montana exists, is so that they could make it
Fucking
take up as much space as possible
Utah
up there.
and like Colorado might be my favorite states because they're straight up just like, this is your side of the bed and my side of the bed. Like they're just like a straight line. I'm like, I like it.
Okay, the Mason-Dixon line is on the southern border of Pennsylvania.
So then
So
we are the
West
South.
Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, and a part of Delaware
Okay,
are
so
all
Pennsylvania's
below the
way closer
Mason-Dixon
than
line.
I thought.
Maryland is.
Jesus.
Oh, see, I wouldn't view Maryland.
DC is under the Mason-Dixon line.
Really?
Yes, it is. It's crazy,
Wow,
right?
interesting.
What was that one where it was like it has to be? Was it like the 45th parallel or something like that? Where it's like below
yeah.
45 or we fight where like slavery had to be below that line.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
no slavery
right.
was allowed above that line.
So they actually legitimately used like latitudes and
There actually
longitudes
was
to
a
measure
line.
racism.
There was some. They used math to measure racism.
Racism, yeah,
That's
that's what it
fun.
is. Yeah.
That's nice.
It's the only time math was used in
You're
the
like, no,
South.
no, no, you have to stay here. I made a slavery joke on stage last night.
You did?
I did.
I remember that.
You were there. It wasn't my. It was very
Monica, I've always been
anti-slavery.
I've always
Really,
been
there. The last 2 months, I've always been there.
one of her friends,
Just in the
she was like,
background.
"Oh, we'll just sell her," and I was like, "Alabama, I thought we were over selling people. What are you doing? We're not doing this
yeah.
anmore."
Dude, I had
It
a
was
weird,
weird
comment
that she
from
was
me,
like,
too.
"You could buy her." I was like, "What are you doing?"
This
That's
guy
your
was
friend.
talking about breeding humans, and I'm like, you
Yeah.
shouldn't use the word
I
breed
know.
with humans.
Okay,
like
so
that.
we're
That's really
in.
fucking weird.
We're not in Kingsport anymore right
no,
now.
we're in Johnson City.
We're in Johnson City, Tennessee.
place,
However,
right now,
Johnson
just
City.
in case you're
However,
wondering.
Kingsport, Johnson City, and Bristol make up the Tri-Cities,
Okay,
which are all basically just one big city.
we have a
We have a
Tri-Cities in Washington.
and it's really a kind of a piece of shit.
Super shitty.
well,
a lot of nuclear
It's where the Hanford site
waste.
is.
I
you
guess.
know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's gorgeous here. We actually have seasons. It's one of those things where it's like a lot of people will say, I'd like
you get
to
all
raise.
four.
I'd love to raise my kids here. Is the thing that's always said about the South and where we live in particular. The problem is that the kids have to be raised here, and it's just a
I would
fucking
love
nightmare.
to raise my kids here because I'm racist.
Yeah, I actually
so-
thought about when we were driving into here today. I told Monica this probably twice because I say everything twice. That I thought about the forest, like they were exactly as I pictured. Like it was.
It is
autumn,
very
was,
much like the leaves
golden
are
and some
changing. It's very
orange
pretty.
kind of. That's good.
I think
like
2
it.
weeks ago I
Me too.
did a
I think
bit
it's
of a
better.
little road trip, but I wound up going down to Orlando and I did the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot at Disney. And,
What?
it's awesome if you can ever do it.
Dude, I've been to Epcot.
I drank around the
That's
world.
the only
Dude.
real. Really?
Yeah.
He tried to do it and he gave up.
I tried to do the
Pussy.
drink around the world, and I got about 8 countries in, and I switched to gelato.
It's like we'll just
mean,
eat
it's
ice
a
cream
quality.
around the
It's like,
world.
I'm drunk, and ice cream sounds great.
I did it and I filmed it actually.
What
So
a
there's a
team
video
player.
of it
Oh,
online
really?
on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/The Hunter Show. Just that's a plug, right?
Plugs.
Oh, speaking of which, we should
But
probably do that.
We do our
I
plugs,
did that, and so then I went down there again to hang out with a friend of mine on his birthday, and we did the Food and Wine thing. And so I was down in Florida, and then I drove back up through Atlanta into Nashville, and I was like, "Oh, fall happened in the 2 days that I
does
was
sound like a
gone." That was the
fart.
creepiest. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know if
was
that was heard or
super
not.
Sounds like a fart. I'm fine with it.
You
that
got it
was-
to go.
Creepy old house.
Good work.
But no, and then I drove back up, and I was like, "Oh, that's right. Fall happened in the one day that I was in Atlanta." Or
It was good. It was
Orlando.
almost like right when we crossed the line to Tennessee. There was like on either side was so many trees, and it was very much like there's a green one and then an orange one and then a brown. It was great.
Super nice.
It was fucking awesome.
All right, so we gotta plug our shows. We always do this up top. We're really bad at it
Because we'll forget.
Because
Otherwise.
we'll forget
Well, I'm
to
glad
do
I
it
reminded
otherwise.
you.
Yes, so it's a good plug by you, The Hunter
Yes.
Show on YouTube. You can always catch it. We're on iTunes. You can rate and review and subscribe. It really helps the podcast a lot, and it means the world to us. Also, we're on Stitcher, and we're on Racketeer Radio at 7 o'clock on Thursdays. That's an internet radio station in Seattle. If you didn't know, check us out then.
Okay.
Oh, I'm also on iTunes.
And
Oh yeah. You
Hunter's
have
on
your own
iTunes.
podcast.
It's the We Are But Men podcast network, which is like an assortment of podcasts. I have one called My TV Stories, where I get people on and we talk about TV shows that we like. Because we were talking about this earlier at the venue. I watch way too much TV. And I've got 2 guys who go on a wrestling podcast, which is pretty much self-explanatory. And I have Please Be My Friend, where I just meet somebody new that has like an interesting life, and I interview them.
Wow.
Maybe
Convince
come
them
your
to
You have
friend.
a lot of stuff to do.
I hope. It's mainly because I don't know if you all do this because you all have been on the road so much, but like when I am driving a lot, I listen to podcasts. If I'm
We've
on long
just
road trips,
started more listening to podcasts.
It-
We probably
it's,
should have been.
Jeff
Great.
Blank and I got into it, driving and listening to podcasts because it keeps you engaged.
Yeah, it's way
whereas
better
music
than music
wouldn't.
So I always
You're
listen to
listening to the
podcasts
same
while
music the
driving,
whole
and
time.
Monica does it like she didn't listen to him that much before, right? You listen to some, but not a lot.
What,
right?
podcast?
Yeah.
I never listen to any because, one, I worked with kids, so I can't be on a phone or listening to anything while I'm
Ever.
working, and my radio doesn't even play CDs. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Gotta have
work
the
in the
auxiliary
car.
port, man.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. So I literally, like,
Your life sounds like
unless
a
I was
nightmare.
at home,
I can't listen.
which
to
I'm
CDs
never
when
at
I work with
home.
children.
I was never at home because if I wasn't at work, I was doing comedy. So I was never,
Yeah.
no, I never listened to podcasts before.
And so when she went back to Seattle for the wedding, I drove by myself to Texas, and that's my go-to when I have to drive. It's podcast the entire time because it keeps you awake way better than music does.
Yeah,
like,
because-
it's so
Way
much
better than
music.
I do.
because with music in particular,
True.
you'll go on autopilot.
Yeah,
And just be like, because I don't know how many times I'll just be like, well, I know the words of this. And like, I'll have been singing the entire song and then been like, That song's over.
Dude, I do that all the
Whereas
time where I'm
podcasts-
like, oh, I was crushing this and you
Yeah,
didn't even
nailed
notice.
it.
Podcasts are great.
Adele ain't got shit on
What
me.
up?
If you're driving right now, make sure you keep your eyes on the road.
Yes.
Okay. And
Look out!
Strange.
Just kidding. Sorry.
Jeez, Monica.
Oh, that was
getting all
worth it.
scary.
Boo!
I enjoyed this. Please pay attention. Mike does not. So
I pay attention. We're not dead. Okay.
We're not.
Our
Plug.
next show.
I was gonna say.
Friday, November 6th. We are at the Midtown Crossing Grill in Memphis, Tennessee.
Come to that. Tell your friends. We have friends flying in for that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about
Flying?
it. Yeah, right?
What kind of rich bourgeois people are you
She's
friends
The
got-
with?
ones
she's
you
got
want on
super
your
bougie
team.
people.
You know what I mean? Yeah, one flying
See,
from
that's
Seattle, one's
fine.
coming from DC.
I've got
I'm really
super
excited.
boozy people that I'm friends with. So
Bougie and
works
boozy
out.
may be the same.
Sunday,
I'm excited.
November 8th at 8 p.m. We are at the Alley Cat Lounge in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, do Monday and Tuesday too.
And I don't have Tuesdays.
Or are you
but
just
Monday,
going?
I'm going through. Monday at 10 p.m. We are at the Silver Dollar in Louisville, Kentucky. Said that right. It's not Louisville. It's
No,
Louisville.
it's definitely
Louisville.
Louisville.
It's definitely Louisville.
Louisville.
Right?
All right. And then on Tuesday, November 10th, we are in Cincinnati, Ohio at a venue that Monica will tell you shortly.
Oh God,
It's
this
the one
is
I don't have on
more
my calendar yet.
do our. No, here's the thing that I want you guys to do
Oh.
is watch our tour videos.
Watch our watch our tour
This
videos.
is
We have them
Mike's
on
one
YouTube.
job, and he's working really hard on it. So
Nailing
watch
it,
him.
Mike.
Did you guys hear that? That was kind
Some
of a
people-
compliment.
I believe
It was
in you.
he's done a good job, and he
Pretty rad.
Hey,
they're
Mike.
fun. You can see our
sometimes
faces.
sometimes
That's
I forget
fun.
to post them on time, but
Hey, Mike.
it's all good.
Most of the
great.
time, that's all good.
You're
Oh,
great.
You're great.
I'm just saying this is you're great.
Hunter, how do you feel about riding across the country with me in a Kia Soul? Monica, you wanna stay here?
that pretty like I didn't know that was my dream
doesn't think it's
until
funny when
just
you do
now.
that.
Turns out that's my dream.
That is your dream?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
We're at Motor, is what
When
it's
are you in
called.
Cincinnati?
the motor.
On the 10th, on
The 10th?
Tuesday,
Come
next
to
Tuesday,
Cincinnati,
a week
Ohio
from
at the
now.
motor with us.
Do
On
you
the
have friends?
6th, I'm in Columbus.
Ooh.
6th, I'm in Columbus. The 7th, I'm in Pittsburgh, and then the 8th, I'm in New York.
There you go. Do you know where? Do you know what the venues are? We have listeners all over the country.
The Tree Bar
So-
is in Columbus, and then Jeff Blank and I are doing 2 shows at the Arcade Comedy Theater in Pittsburgh, and then in New York we have no idea.
Oh,
we
cool.
kind of like
That's
crammed
fun.
this thing together. We tentatively
Pittsburgh
called it.
sounds fun.
We called it the Hunter and Jeff's comedy weekend vacation kind of thing that we pulled together last minute.
Boom! Those posters must have so many pictures on
Yeah.
them. That's awesome.
But also, we need to announce that this week is the Seattle Super Secret Stand-Up
Oh,
Show
duh, man!
in
You got it.
Seattle. We're not there, obviously, but it's going to be a great show. Cameron Mazuka is your lovely host. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. We have a lot of people on the show. It's going to be good. It's going to be drop-ins. It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be awesome. It's only $5. Go,
It's at
be there,
midnight.
support it because we'll be back in December.
We will be back in
We will be
December.
back in December, and if you weren't there in November, then you're not allowed to come in. So
How
Just
long
saying.
have you all been doing? Like y'all have been on the road for a while.
We've been on the road for
Doing
2 months
what?
now.
Jesus Christ.
And then I've been doing comedy for 5 years.
Okay.
And she's been doing comedy for almost 5 years.
yeah, it'll be
Okay.
5 in January.
Very
but
close.
Yeah.
I can't imagine 2 months on the
We're
road.
doing this
2 months
podcast
on the
for
road.
over a year.
Okay,
Nice.
to be fair, we had a week where she flew back to Seattle for a wedding, and I was with my dad, so it was kind of like a mini vacation in the middle of it.
I love how
And
it's
that-
like the vacation is not being on the road for 2 months.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
like that's for
Yeah.
everybody else. It's like
It helped a lot because it's been good. It's been really good. I've had a really great time.
Literally,
Yeah.
the first question everyone asks us is, "Do you hate each other yet?" And we're like, "No."
And we don't, 'cause
Are
we
we
never
supposed to? Because I don't talk that much. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that keeps
if
us from hating each other. But
I feel like if
You
I
not
didn't
talking?
yeah,
if I didn't
so I would say
have
super
a cell
fucking
phone,
mean things. I'm just kidding.
I don't
Just
think we'll ever
kidding.
hate each
Are
other.
you scratching your arm on the wall?
I'm just. It's got a little bump
No.
right here. It feels weird.
Have we gotten closer? I don't think so.
Oh, wow, that's pretty fucked up. I was gonna say
No,
yes.
but no. I mean,
the truth is coming out.
I feel like I treat you very similarly to the way that I did before, which I think is good because it could be
Could be
weird.
worse.
Yeah, weird. It
I
could be
treat
me,
you like I'm a mama grizzly.
which you did
And you're
before.
my
Though
little
I
bear
felt
cub.
like
That's a good point.
we were already close enough. We already spent so much time together, anyways. Like it
We
didn't
really did.
really
so.
matter.
That's the trick though. Like
I've just been
'Cause-
keeping her awake snoring. That's how I.
because like
Dude, I don't talk about that.
like I like people, but I know I like myself a lot more than people.
That
So
is
I've-
the best thing I've ever heard. I might
Like-
get that tattooed on one of my arms. I like people, but I like myself way more. That's fucking awesome.
So like, I feel like it's always interesting to find one person that you can like tour with, like Jeff, because Jeff and I are doing those shows that I talked about, Jeff Blank, and like we've always gotten along and had great times, but it's always weird to find the one person in comedy that you can be like, you know what, let's pal around and do this forever.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. There's a few people that I feel like I could be around for a long time and be fine with, but it's a pretty select few.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anyway, I think that might be the new Hug Life motto.
What?
Is I like people, but not as much
That's
as
not
I
the
like
Hug Life
myself.
motto.
I think
That's
that's
the
great.
That's
I think
like the
that's
antithesis.
perfect.
I feel like that's the antithesis
No, I
of what
think
Hug
that's-
Life is about,
what are you
right?
talking
Y'all-
about?
Because you're great.
No, I think that's perfect.
You're great.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to think yourself
also,
is great,
I'm
though,
fucking
too. You
fantastic.
think other people are great, but I'm, yes, fantastic. I think that's perfect. If you don't love yourself, you can't love other people. Come on now.
Where
have you guys
true.
been?
That's true.
Oh, welcome to the world of Tennessee.
George Washington.
That's fucking...
George
We
Washington
can
said,
move on
before
if
you
you
ever
want.
focus on foreign affairs, we need to get our own shit.
Have you been to Huntsville, Alabama?
I went to Huntsville.
don't
This
think
is
I
a
can
true
say
story. I went to
Alabama.
space camp in 5th grade.
No way. Mike hates you now.
Did you go?
Mike wants to go to space camp so
We're gonna have
bad.
to end this podcast.
We should
Mike's
talk.
gonna
We
punch
didn't even
me.
write that down.
I'm not
but-
gonna punch you. I don't hit.
He's gonna hug
I
me
don't
really
hit you.
hard.
I would watch
squeeze you to
Guts every day as a
For me,
child
it was
on
Legends of the Hidden
Nickelodeon,
Temple.
and they were always what was it?
Legends of the Hidden
Temple.
Temple.
See, it was the
Fuck.
block. It was the Guts Legends of the Hidden Temple
Yeah.
block.
We've already done the '90s game show quiz,
have
so
done
we
that.
can't do that
well,
one.
see, on
but
on my first album, Old Man Babyface, which is available on iTunes and Spotify, I'm nailing these
So
plugs.
plugs.
plugs,
great.
plugs.
I have a huge bit about Legends of the Hidden Temple, and
I love that show.
About how much I loved it growing up as a kid, but how bullshit it was because the Shrine of the Silver Monkey was rigged. It's
totally.
just totally rigged.
There's if you're ever interested, listeners, people, you guys, you should check this out too. There's a Grantland article where a guy watches a Legends of the Hidden Temple episode and breaks it down as it happens, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever read because it's just like he just talks about how rigged the game is and how shitty, like fuck you, Silver Snakes, just like how it's like
Silver Snakes were my
it's
jam.
the choice of the producers entirely.
yeah.
It's the choice. It's just to pick people.
It's like the rest of
temple
our
guards
lives.
and
That's how
get-
that works. Everything is the choice of the producers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And they really did not want to send anyone to space camp,
No,
but they wanted them really to
is
get
that what
Huffy
you
bikes.
won when you got to go to space
It
camp?
was that.
I always wanted to go to space camp, and I thought it was funny because so we got tickets and we went to the
It was the
U.S.
space rocket.
Yeah.
Space and
Yeah.
Rocket Center. I think it's what's called. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great museum, really cool. But Space Camp is there, like you can see it, and both of us were like, "God damn,
So
motherfucker."
Like, I don't know how
There's
many kids-
adult space camp.
Yeah, like I was about to say, I don't know how many kids in the '90s would be like, I'll still do it. Like,
Is it a-
Exactly.
yeah.
No, there is an adult space camp.
And the
If you
guy-
guys didn't know, there's still Squeeze-Its and there's still adult space camp. Like you guys are
Squeeze-Its?
going to be.
Remember
Oh yeah, you can get them at
Squeeze-Its?
Walmart.
Holy shit,
Still
the
You
juices?
get- yeah, exactly. See, that's more
I always
interesting than
loved the
adult
weird
space
like
camp. But
squeeze
good
it
work.
characters. Like there was all like each one had a character.
The banana
Like,
yeah,
that
those
had like weird hair. I
come-
think.
bananas
banana?
are gross.
There's a banana Squeeze-It.
We're all well. They were all fruit flavors, and I think there was a yellow one. I don't
That
know if it
sounds
was banana.
Sounds like a
terrible.
lemonade.
I think it was like a lemonade.
No one
thing or
Oh,
knows.
something
maybe
like that.
lemonade makes more sense.
But he had like a weird like. haircut. I don't know.
Anyways,
Mohawk,
it
'cause
was
it
weird
was
that
the
they
90s.
have faces on them, and they still have faces on them. Anyways, so you could go to space camp, bring some Squeeze-Its with you, and then Dunkaroos. Like it would
dried
be a
ice
great.
cream.
It'd be a great time.
Like the dried ice cream that they have. The astronaut ice cream.
Oh yeah, is that what you do there? You went to space camp. Tell us about.
What did
Well,
you
I
do
went
at
as like a
space
school
camp? Tell me
trip.
about fifth grade Hunter.
I went. Fifth grade Hunter was just as insufferable, but
Just knee-deep in
he had
poontang.
luxurious blonde hair, and when I say blonde, I mean like white. Like my hair was like white.
It's like Magneto, right?
Really?
Yeah, like it was like It was.
Hunter doesn't have really
I
any
don't-
hair.
yeah,
if you guys
I-
know.
you
You're
can't
like
see
a,
me, but
you're like
it
a
all-
manly Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, but really, I was like that one that gets gold poured on his head. Spoilers. But like I I don't look like that now. It's like I pissed off a witch at some point.
I'm going
And,
to take
like,
your hair. Is
I
what
was
she said.
not.
That's my hair now.
I was not
If you
kind to
want-
like a homeless witch, and
if you
she
want,
cursed
when
me
I-
to find love before all
when
the
I-
petals
When I
fell
put
off
your
a
picture
rose.
on the podcast, I can MS Paint some white hair on you. If you like
That'll
that.
be gorgeous.
MS
I don't have
Paint.
any,
Thanks for
I don't
using
have,
the
I
slang
don't have
terms.
Photoshop, but I can do that.
MS
for you.
Paint skills.
MS
That's what's
Paint.
MS Paint skills.
underrated.
I did something in Paint.
Those
the
are
other day.
underrated.
Dude, the photo program I use is called GIMP. Isn't that a little weird?
That is.
The off-brand Photoshop is
They
called
just want you to
GIMP.
be in charge, you know?
You're in charge of this
You're
photo.
in charge.
You
This
tell it
photo's
what
gonna
to
Tell me
submit
what to do.
you.
I know.
Photo.
Photo's your bitch.
And you're
Make
like,
that-
why are you talking?
All the trees have leather masks. My photo.
So, yeah, you'll have long hair, but also a leather mask.
Beautiful.
So it'll be
Because at
fine.
space camp, they put you in like the one thing I recognize that was there at the space camp thing that made me shit my pants is that ridiculous
Mike
thing
did
they
shit
put
his
you
pants.
in that like twirls and tumbles. It looks like a gyro.
That they
thing.
have
Did
it
you do
like
that?
that they used to do at malls.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I
think
did it at a
that.
mall, though.
I think I did that at like a county fair. I don't know. No, but I in 1990 that was 95 for me. 1995 was a long time ago. I've had
Rough year.
concussions
It's a
and
tough year.
that was when I
Got it.
started doing the cocaine. Was 95.
The cocaine.
It was a lot of stress at space camp to try to be the best
It
astronaut.
really changed you afterwards? You're
saw
like, I
that.
got to
It
start
looked
doing cocaine?
competitive as shit.
It's very competitive.
It looks competitive as shit. There was like a wall of fame, and like these people became astronauts. So I'm like, oh, so you're going to this camp that's supposed to be fun in your summertime, and they're putting mounds of pressure on you to become a fucking astronaut.
I mean, we've all seen the movie
Some people
Space
can't
Camp,
handle
right?
it.
Where those kids actually went to space by accident. That is a garbage movie. If you haven't,
What's it
have you ever
called?
seen the Space Camp movie?
No.
It's ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is a movie
I
where
want to
these.
say I saw it on TV. It's one
They
of
accidentally
those-
went to space by accident?
Yeah, like there was like, oh, they're in space camp. Let's like let them get on the shuttle and like,
Oh.
and then they get
I may
shot
have
into
seen-
actual
yeah,
space and have
yeah.
to figure out how to come back home. And there's
I'm
a
like, oh,
robot
shit.
because
There's always a
80s.
robot. Why wouldn't there be a robot? That makes
Dude,
total
you want
sense.
to hear something that kind of bummed me out about the museum, though? This is gonna kind of. I don't want to rain on the parade. Okay,
It was really cool.
it was cool, but so much of it looked like it was still in the 80s, to the point where there was like there's a ride that you can go on, like a gravity experience. It's a gravitron from a county fair.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And the guy was like, "You want to ride it?" And I looked at him and I'm like, "I don't know," because I walked up, we're all excited, and then I realized it was a gravitron from the county fair, and I'm like, "It's all good, dude. It's
I'm
no
good."
big deal."
It's fine.
Do you have any funnel cakes though? Because I'll eat the
Yeah.
shit out of a funnel
I
cake.
will,
It's
I will
true.
motorboat a brick of curly
Dude,
fries
the
right
Mars
now,
Grill
so-
fucking closes at 4. So
Mars Grill does close
it
at 4,
does
yeah.
close. But they had, what's the big Saturn
they had,
5?
They had a Saturn V rocket broken
yeah.
down.
like
in
broke. It
pieces.
was really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That was
I
probably my
remember-
favorite
I
part.
think you could get in like one of the Apollo capsules.
Yeah.
Like it was like a
They had-
replica
it's
of
a
it. You
trainer.
could
There's a
get in
couple-
trainer,
Trainer
yeah.
capsule. They had a trainer capsule that you could get into. I didn't get into it because it was pretty small.
Well, when you're in fifth
Pretty
grade,
small.
you can just
You can just
Climb on
hop
in.
right in.
hop
there.
on in there.
They did
You can
have.
just kiss a girl for the first time right there in that little,
Yes.
Is that
no,
what
I
happened?
did not. I did not have
Did
like
you
a
get
fun.
did you get your
space
first
camp love
You
experience?
didn't have
Like
you
it was
didn't
not.
get your first BJ
space
in an Apollo
camps,
16
not
man
like
module?
church camp.
I did not. However, I have heard that Neil Armstrong got his first blowjob in the Apollo. That's a stupid joke.
It
Hunter.
was really.
Him and Buzz
What's
Aldrin
funny
just
is
blowing
you-
each other.
What's
in the,
funny is
He
you
just held out for it.
I was
so good. It's
completely
so good.
on board with you. I was like, "Holy shit! Is this an underground breaking Apollo?"
And then just
story?
not even thinking about who else
we
was
learned
there.
about it. We learned about it at space camp. It's the
They
first
told
thing
him,
they
they
teach
were
you
like, save your virginity for when you go into
for when
space.
you actually go into space.
See, that was the coolest thing they had to me is they had moon rocks, and then next to the moon rocks was the actual command module that splashed down from Apollo 16.
Yeah.
in a glass kit, like the full thing, which was really cool.
That's awesome.
They had a. I
That
remember
was in the
this.
back corner of the museum.
I remember getting in the.
I don't
There was like
remember anything.
a harness thing that you could get in that simulated, like jumping that
On the
simulated the
moon?
gravity.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
shit.
probably the reason I wanted to go to space camp. I was like, I just want to feel what that's like.
Yeah, and I know there's the big giant water tank, but they don't let. I
Kids
don't
in
think
it?
they let kids in that.
We watched people in it though.
Yeah,
There,
like in
because people.
Armageddon,
This
where they
girl was
learn
like
how to,
playing
do the drills and
basketball.
stuff.
I was very jealous.
Yeah.
I love Armageddon.
But yeah,
Movie's badass.
I could stay
Awake just to hear you breathing. Which is creepy in its own right, Steven
It
Tyler.
is.
Because he watched his daughter in that movie and then wrote a love song, which is...
My
and,
daughter's
Liv Tyler's
banging Ben
amazing,
Affleck,
so, I
and
mean,
there needs to be
whatever.
a love
and
song.
plus he had that one video where she was like a stripper.
oh yeah,
what?
There was the Aerosmith. Was it
it wasn't-
Crazy?
it was
Don't do
crazy. It
that
was either
to me.
crazy or jaded.
No, Jaded was much later.
What was
Jaded.
Crazy? Yeah, it was crazy. Because there were three Alicia Silverstone videos in a row. The Alicia Silverstone trilogy was Living on the
Were they
Edge, Crying,
boning?
and Crazy. And
They're like a which Aerosmith video are you? Is that a quiz? That's an
Dude, if I
option.
wasn't, I don't want to miss a thing. I'd just quit the podcast forever.
there's
Walk this
there's
way? I would go with
there's a fun fact about Aerosmith videos. I know weird, stupid stuff. The Crying video, Alicia Silverstone gets her belly button pierced.
Okay.
And the reason why in the 90s and the early 2000s that piercing was so popular has been attributed to that video.
Really?
Even though it's not like it's not an easy piercing to
No,
do.
that hurts.
And
I
like
don't have one,
but
I've heard.
but so many people got it done after seeing Alicia Silverstone get it done in that video. And it wasn't even her in the video, it was like a stunt belly.
Stunt
Bring
belly.
in the stunt belly. It's
But
just me
Aerosmith-
shirtless. I'm Alicia Silverstone.
But Aerosmith
Got a lot
was
of
so
belly button to
badass.
pierce for you. There's so much room.
But
do
Aerosmith
it
was
twice.
so badass
She's
in the
like,
90s
who's clueless
that
now?
they caused a spike in piercings
That's
to
amazing.
happen.
That is definitely fame right there.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna pierce this, so now
See,
everyone.
I got my tongue pierced because of Scary Spice.
Me too.
You too? That's you too?
I was like, ah.
I'd never seen anything
I only
like
have my
that
ears pierced actually.
and thought it was so cool. And I was like, that's cool. I want
Did
one
you
of
really?
those.
Or is that a real story? Holy shit!
Yeah,
and
that's
you
a-
still
yeah.
have it, and you fucking
Still,
held on
it's
to
the
it
only
too.
one that I have.
I have
Like
a lot of friends that
like
are
a
like, I got
snake.
this pierced, and I fucking
Yeah.
didn't
Stuck it
know.
out like a little barbed snake.
I got my ears pierced first.
Because of Scary Spice? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
I'd
the
never
most
seen I'd never seen a tongue piercing before.
amazing
and it was
story
not
I've
it
ever
was
heard.
not wannabe, it was the one afterwards where they're in the desert doing kung fu moves.
Yeah.
The Say You Will Be There. That
Yeah,
one.
Say You Will Be There.
And like there was like a shot where
Check
she
out
was
the
like
Spice
singing, and I
Girls.
looked and I was like, "That's a tongue piercing. I've never seen that. That's super cool."
She's fucking dope, and she's by far probably the most successful
and
still.
she's jacked as well.
Doing stuff.
Victoria Beckham.
Victoria's not successful. She doesn't do anything. She's just married
Doesn't she have a
to.
clothing line or something?
Oh, yeah, that doesn't count.
Everybody has a.
She doesn't do
clothing line.
anything though. She's
I have
just
a
married to
clothing
Beckham. I mean, good for her. But
That's success in its own right.
yeah, Melby. might
Scary
be.
Spice is she got knocked up by Eddie Murphy once.
And now she's married to some other dude who's great, and she's on a yacht making out with her friends and stuff. That's
All the
fun.
time.
Look at that.
That's the dream.
In Australia. She's on like Australia's Got Talent. That's like the best place to be on that show. You're like, who's got
Australia.
talent? Doesn't matter. I'm on a yacht when we're not
Who's got talent?
filming.
No one in Australia.
No, yeah, who cares?
Oh shit! Shots fired over the bow.
Look,
bang, bang,
here's my thing
bang.
about Australia.
Tennessee against
Is-
Australia.
I know they clash.
Not Russell Crowe. He's Australian, right?
He is.
Yeah.
And that piece of shit that was in Avatar,
jeez.
he's Australian, right?
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Sam
What was his
Worthington
name?
or whatever?
Yeah.
Here's my issue with them. Russell Crowe has an Oscar, and Russell Crowe can barely hide his Australian accent half the time. And that's annoying to me. And I understand that I'm not like doing movies where I'm Australian, but still, like, come on. You got an Oscar, man. Get it together. Like,
I'm always very impressed how people can. Who's it? Isla Fisher is Australian, and I didn't know for like first two films that I saw.
The
her
guy
in,
that
I was
always
like,
gets
holy
me is, do you guys watch Arrow by any chance, TV show Arrow?
I don't. I need to. I hear about
There's
how
an
good it
actor
is.
on there. He plays the captain of the police or whatever.
Police captain.
Yeah, police captain Lance. His name's
Captain of the police. Excuse
Captain
me, it's
Lance.
the police captain.
Where is
He-
your captain of police?
Paul Blackthorne, I think his name is, which in retrospect is the most British name in the world. But like in the show, he's so good that like when I met him and interviewed him in real life, I was like, "Oh, that's right, you're British." I keep forgetting
right.
because it's so perfect.
Some of them are so good at it, like way better than I feel like American actors are at other accents. Like
Yeah.
Rose Byrne, she's Australian
Half
too.
the cast of Walking
Super
Dead is
Australian.
British.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
the main guy's British. The main guy's British because he was in Love Actually.
That's what I know him from. He's the guy that was
Yeah.
in that
He
was
in-
pining
he was
after
in love
Keira
with
Knightley.
Keira Knightley, and he's like, "I'll never tell you, but you need
He's
to
my
know."
least favorite character of that movie.
Keira Knightley is married to, and this is
is.
my favorite name in the world, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful
should
name.
Should be your favorite name in the world. And then he's just the weird one, like, oh, I'm so
And he's just
disappointed
there
in that
lurking
character.
in the background.
Well, and
Like
then
everybody gets a happy ending too. Like
he
I don't know what you're talking
like he
about.
shows
Sounds
her
hot, you
the
guys.
fucking video, and it's just of her, and I'm like, you were taking the only video of their wedding. You knew this was going to happen.
no.
What do you
There
mean?
was another video because she comes to see him because it's like the videographer didn't get a good shot of me.
Oh.
So we know you were also filming.
He's like, I only got good shots of you.
And it was like,
here you go.
that scene
I
is
only have
heartbreaking,
shots
though,
of
where
you.
it's
One thing
like,
we got to learn from that is you need to hire a professional wedding videographer.
you got to get somebody really
Don't
good.
get a friend.
I thought I
Not some creepy
genuinely
stalker friend.
Look on Yelp.
genuinely thought when he put the video on, it was going to be just of the dude. Like I thought
She would
it
tell
was
you
going to
before.
be
Thought it
gay
was
for.
you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's really
Well, they
what I
talk
thought.
about that at the beginning of the movie when Laura Linney comes over. It's like, are you in love with him? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm in love with his wife. Like a
Right?
creep
No.
over.
I would never do that.
That's
but yeah,
weird.
no, my best friend's wife. I'm telling you to that.
Bone Zone, Keira
That was the pinnacle
I mean,
of
she
like
is Keira Knightley,
that.
but
That was
That
Keira
was
Knightley.
me playing that guy. It wasn't me saying it.
you wouldn't take
that's
Keira
me. I
Knightley to
would
the
take
bone
Keira
zone.
Knightley to the
Yeah,
bone
Oh, I would. I mean, but I would take her to the make love zone first.
I'd take her to
Make
the
love.
snuggle zone.
Girl,
I
I
would
want to
take
take her to
her-
the make love zone, and then the bone zone, and
Did
then
you
the
say
shame eat zone.
When you said make love, I thought you said Mick love. Like
I'm gonna take you to the make love
we're
zone.
we're just
Where I
gonna
cover
feed
you
each
in
other
chickens and eat
McDonald's.
them off of you, girl.
Take her to the Mick Ultra Zone because it's
I'm
the
gonna
only
put
beer
you
I can
in
afford.
between
the
two
Michelob Ultra Zone.
patty and buns. That's great.
Girl, let me cover you in natty ice.
Natty Ice. Oh man, that
Sounds
is
like
some
the worst
terrible
frat
beer.
party ever.
This is every frat party ever.
That's true. All right, are we ready to talk about superheroes?
Oh shit!
There's so-
That's why I asked if you had been to Huntsville, which was so long ago. I feel like.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I do tangents. I'm sorry.
That's totally. Well, then we started talking about the museum. But so there's this restaurant in Huntsville called Superheroes,
Okay.
and it is like comic book superhero based.
Themed restaurant,
And
so, wait.
Really cool. Mike can.
I'm not religious,
And
but that
here's
sounds
the-
like Mecca.
Here's
Dude,
the other
it's-
thing about it.
and it was good food
is their
too.
food is good. Yeah, their food is so good. I got a burger, and it was like you could tell like someone in the back seasoned and hand
Are you
molded.
crying? Are you crying right now?
I hiccuped at a very strategic point, and it sounds like I was crying. And you know what? I might start crying while
You
telling you
might
this.
Might actually.
This is the
be.
part that made me that moved me emotionally the most. Is I don't like coleslaw, and I was like, excuse me, Miss, can I replace the coleslaw with another side? And she said yes, and I got green bean casserole with my burger and fries.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh,
It was
dude.
really good. And the coleslaw, I
Oh
usually
my
don't like
gosh.
coleslaw, but it was kind of spicy, so it was delicious. But I got the redneck burger because, when in Rome. But it had, I like fried pickles. That was on the burger. There was fried green tomatoes on the burger. Tabasco infused onion straws on the burger with like a horseradish thing and barbecues. It was fucking great.
Sounds magical.
Yeah, it was super good.
There's a restaurant here in town that I when comics come from out of town that I send everybody to. It's called Mid City Grill.
Okay.
And my favorite thing there is called the Gravity Burger. It's a burger with sliced roast beef on it, and then hummus, and then a garlic
Hummus.
apricot sauce.
That's the most ridiculous
I was
thing I've
really
ever
hoping you were
heard.
going to say the burger was marinated in high gravity.
It's just it's
Oh
just
my god, I forgot
drunk
about
as
high
fuck.
gravity.
Well, see, like I know
We
the guy
used to
that
drink a
owns
lot of
it,
high
so I get to
gravity.
like go and be like, let's play around, and like he'll make me fun stuff. So one time he made me I can't remember what the patty was. It was some kind of like weird combination of like great beef, but then he cut a hole in the middle of it and fried an egg in the middle of the burger, and then
Holy
yeah,
shit.
so it was. I had
Oh, that
biscuits
sounds
and gravy with
great.
pork belly on it one time.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's where I said
pork belly.
yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Dude,
I don't know.
Like that's one of my favorite things I've ever had in my life. Is I've had something kind of along that where it was I had poutine,
Ooh.
but it was bone marrow poutine
Oh.
with a sirloin steak on top of
Jesus Christ.
it. And I should have died after that meal.
Yeah,
But
well, you should have
it
killed
was
yourself. Like,
Right,
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
it
'Cause
can't
it's
get
you
better
shouldn't have
than
died.
this.
You should have
I'm
been like,
just
"That's
gonna
it.
go."
That's game
one
over,
of
guys."
The
Like,
best things I've ever had. It was a big night for me. I had that for the first time. I had pork belly for the first time that night, and I had oxtail for the first time that night. Because
How much did you eat?
Well, that's the thing is I was after a show, and the headliner, Tom Segura, super funny comedian, amazing guy, went out to dinner, and we all went, and then he got all this stuff for us to try. It was so
Oh,
good.
so it was like a different, like everybody was sharing.
Everyone was sharing.
You made it sound
yeah.
like you just ordered all of those things.
No, I didn't order all those
Smart
things. I
press.
did order this. I did order the poutine thing because it was one of those things where I was like with a bunch of people, and I'm just always used to going out to eat and paying separately. Is that a weird thing?
No,
And
that's normal.
I felt like such a dick because he picked up the whole bill.
Oh, you ordered stuff.
Yeah, and I
as
ordered-
if you were paying.
I
for yourself.
ordered it because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna treat myself tonight. I'm gonna treat myself to this
Treat
thing I
yourself.
never eat. And then the bill came and he just paid it, and I was like, oh fuck, because it was
Oh, no, I
like
didn't-
$25.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
And I felt like a dick. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so geez. But yeah, it was one of the best things I've ever had though in my
That's
life. So
awesome.
no regrets.
Good deal. Anyway, Superheroes had like their menu was a comic book, basically. Like that's what it looked like.
nice.
And then like they had all these comic books like framed on the walls, and they had like the windows were painted with like one had Iron Man and one had Spider Man, like all this stuff.
Oh,
It was like it was super cool. And it's so
And in the side room, they had a pinball machine and a Star Wars foosball.
yeah, when you were like droids,
And there
right?
were droids.
Yeah,
yes,
I got it right.
And the
I said
Trade
drones the
and
other
Trade
day.
Federation clone troopers. What?
Yes,
You can go pee pee.
that is perfect.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Actually, that's a good time for you to go pee because we got to discuss something on our podcast that's been really irking me lately,
What?
and that's our rivalry.
Oh Jesus, those guys! I don't want to talk about that.
I know you should
Really
never
brings down.
listen to the Off Speed podcast that comes out on
They're
Sundays on iTunes. It's
Just
the worst. Don't listen
If
to
you
it.
want to know about sports, do not listen to them.
Because they're really knowledgeable,
'Cause
but
it's
don't
like-
listen.
It's not even like informative, but funny. Like that's not even what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't have a good time listening to it. And Aaron's really not funny, so don't ever go and see him
Don't
do
go
stand
see
up.
him do stand up at Comedy Club or
and-
the Parlor, wherever he's at. Don't go see him.
And don't just please do not subscribe to them on iTunes. I know we're supposed to be positive, but like seriously, don't subscribe to them on iTunes. Don't listen to it.
them.
Don't tweet them how much you like them. Like don't just don't do it, guys.
Just don't, you guys. Because,
It's not,
Casey McLean is such a sweet man, but just know. There are rivals.
I like how you let like a compliment slip
There are
in. You're like
biggest
he's a sweet
Rivals in the world.
He's the sweet worst man ever.
He's the sweet worst man ever.
Yeah, so just don't do it.
Also, don't go see Aaron because he doesn't update his calendar, so I can't
I was gonna
continue
say,
this
you can't
joke
look
right
at
now
don't
of being
go
like,
see
don't go see him at this certain date and certain time.
Just don't listen to their podcast.
Yeah,
is what we're saying.
podcast rivalry. Boom, roasted.
Yeah.
Eat it.
What's up?
Suck it off, Speed
Here's
podcast.
something that I want to share, and I don't know if you knew this.
I'm pregnant.
We did. What?
I'm pregnant.
No.
with
Maybe.
Hunter's baby.
It happened really
Hunter
quick.
hopped on board.
By the way, I'm back. You know what? You're great.
Really distracted from
and our
whatever.
baby's going to be great.
I would love to see how that child worked
Very
out.
poorly. Have you ever seen the movie Mimic? Because a little bit like that. And or Species.
Species. I have seen
Species 2. Not anything in
Not the second
Species
one?
2, but how shitty
Isn't that
Species
supposed to
2
be like a
is.
sexy
Just the
lady
general
animal
like
monster?
feeling you get when you watch
When you watch
Species 2.
Species
That's
2,
the same
that's what
thing
I-
as
that's what you-
interacting with your child. Got
Yeah,
it.
that when you see
That's
Mine
good.
and Mike's baby, that's how you feel.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Monica. What
No.
were you going to say again? Sorry.
I was going to say our show last night in Huntsville
Oh, yeah.
was okay. So it was the coolest thing we've done because they took it upon themselves. Mind you, it's just in a bar on a Monday, normal
Bar
show.
Monday.
It was fun. They took it upon themselves to make it a blanket drive. So Blanket Fort Comedy Tour. They made it a blanket drive. We're all about charity. Everyone knows that. And you listen to the podcast. So they made a blanket drive, and a bunch of people brought blankets to donate to this homeless shelter. And they built a blanket for
That
it
is
on
awesome.
stage with
So-
a Snuggie too. Fucking
Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
great-
amazing.
it
And
was a
then some
great
people
show.
just donated money because they were like, we don't have blankets, but we want to help anyways. It was like the coolest thing that, I don't know, everyone else step your game up. It was fucking...
Yeah, we didn't do that.
It's okay.
No. We had
But the
a
last-
wonderful, awkward picnic this evening.
Yeah.
But,
Everyone else,
The last beer
step
and
your
comedy
game
show
up.
we
Like,
did.
especially people in like Kingsport, Tennessee, really need to step their game
Step
up.
their
Like
game up.
fucking A, seriously. Like, holy
The
shit.
last beer and comedy show we did, we raised money for breast cancer, the Keep a Breast Foundation.
That's
So
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
We did do that.
I like that.
I
Oh,
want to hear
that's
about all
one
the
thing.
positive things you do every day.
I don't do any.
Do you say nice things to people ever?
I try. I'm living by a different set of standards now. When I went to Comic-Con this last year, because I write for a website called gonzogeek.com, so I get to go
Plug
to
number
Comic-Con.
6.
There, I'm nailing it. I usually don't do this.
No. I like it. It's relevant.
I
So
got to
he's
go out there
got
again
to
this
do
year.
cool
and,
stuff.
And I came back, and I while I was out there, I was like, my whole mindset was like, there's no reason why I can't be why anybody can't be like a person that like does this. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of the people that's up there doing a panel. That's somebody that's got a booth or something like that. So like I've come back home with I came back home with a much more positive attitude, and I've been trying to be super positive and like push my friends to also be like, look, if you want to do something, let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it because we're all talented. We're all, you know, around here. We're in an area where we can all work together.
What happens if you don't? It's the same shit you're already doing. So you
Exactly.
might as well fucking try
So
it.
you might as well try it. So my whole motto for life for like the last 6 months has been the phrase "do better."
That's awesome.
Just do better.
Good.
So like you don't have to do perfect. Just do better than you were doing yesterday.
I
like that.
I've
Wow,
moderated
good
a
work.
panel at a Comic-Con before. And
Nice.
It was fucking terrifying.
I could imagine. I've done like I do interviews and stuff, but I've not had. I was supposed to moderate one, but then an ice storm happened. That keeps happening to me. I was supposed to moderate a panel.
I'm gonna
Wait,
'cause-
didn't you reference that earlier?
Yeah,
You
there was
said
a different. There was the
It's
same.
a different
that was
ice
the same
storm?
winter.
Bullshit. It's following you.
Yeah, it was the same winter.
When
But,
was this?
February. This February.
Holy shit! That
Oh yeah, that's totally what
That's-
kept you from going to Louisville.
that's what kept me. I was going to Louisville to work at a club. That was my first out-of-state club weekend, and I got stuck in Minneapolis because of that ice storm.
Oh, it was terrible.
And
I mean,
it was real bad. It was real
awful.
bad. And the point where like I was supposed to leave on a flight at 8:00 in the morning. No, it was supposed to be at 9:30, and I'm at the gate, and the guy's like, "Hey, just so you know, there's a 9:00 flight. If you guys want to get on earlier, there's lots of seats on that. Go for it." And I got and switched to that one. That one got canceled, and then my 9:30 flight I was supposed to be on left, and I was really pissed off. And then the guy was like, "Just so you know, they're gonna get grounded in another city and get stuck in another city because those runways are not gonna be ready." Like it
Oh,
was,
hell
and
no.
it shut airports down like all throughout.
No,
here,
the
right?
south.
Like, it
The
was
south was fucking destroyed.
Yeah, because
all winter. It was
and
awful
I went,
here.
and when I did get to Louisville, there was just ice everywhere. Like it was all over the. It looked like
Yeah.
it looked like a comic book someone iced over something.
Oh yeah,
it was weird.
It was
Fucking
bad.
Frozen.
We in
Like
January.
Frozen, yeah.
I think in January we hit -8
Damn.
at one point. I went
That's-
outside
yeah.
just to be in -8. And it was like so cold that it actually took my breath away.
No,
like
yeah.
I understand that other cities up north, like that's like normal for them, but that's not normal
That's-
in the South.
Yeah.
Because we've learned that we're part of the South because of the Mason-Dixon line. But like I went out and I was like, it literally took my breath away. I was like,
It's that cold.
and I'm like, I'm going back inside. This is
like
stupid.
It's like a shock thing. Like, cause I went to for Christmas, I went to Alaska because my whole family still lives up there mostly. And I went up there, and it was -10. And my brother and I wanted to go shooting because he has all these guns, and we like to go shooting, like target shooting and stuff. And it was so cold that we had to like, anytime you want to use your fingers, we had to go into his car, which he left on with the heat on, and do stuff, and then go outside and shoot guns and then go back in because it was like your limbs start to kind of like shut down and
Yeah.
slow down. It's the weirdest feeling in the world. It's so gross.
Which is
It's like,
so
oh.
weird because
Yeah.
I would still much rather be cold than hot.
Oh, me too. 100%. Cold is so much better than hot.
I can just
I
put on
think-
another layer.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I would, yeah, because cold is so. Oh man, the
Oh,
heat.
jeez. How much time do we have left?
Um,
What are we at? What are we at right
we're
now?
we're pretty good. We're only at 41 minutes.
I have a game. Can we
We
play?
have a game. We're
We have
playing
a
a
game.
game.
We can play. Let's play a game.
So, it's your guys' job
Do you want to play a game?
to. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give
I
you
have a
something, and then you have to make it positive. You can't like say anything bad about it.
Oh, you
okay?
mean the positive spin game we
No,
played?
no.
Oh, this is.
This
different?
is well,
Live or
kind of
die,
like
you
that. It's a
decide.
little bit different though. So Halloween was a couple days ago, right?
Mhm.
We all. How do you feel about how you like Halloween?
Oh,
I love Halloween.
Mhm, yeah.
Halloween's-
excited right now.
But I don't want you to say anything bad about
I'm
them.
not
So
gonna say
yeah.
anything,
Halloween's pretty fantastic. It's that one time a year where like you get to be whatever you kind of want to be. I really like
That's
it.
a perfect statement for this.
I really like, and plus, one of my favorite things. Like, I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, which is weird because my family owns a bakery.
Get
but
out.
Right.
the one thing I love
don't like
more
anything.
than anything in the world is like candy bars. I love like candy bars, which is great for me for traveling, so I can just pop in and be like Carmelo or Reese's Cups or stuff like that. So I love candy bars, and Halloween's that one time a year where it's completely acceptable
Totally
for me to
okay.
eat just like an entire bag.
Continuously, yeah, there you go.
Otherwise, everybody else is like, "What are you doing?" It is it is August.
It would
Why
be
are you
really
doing it?
weird
Yeah,
if in August you were just like, oh, I just have this giant bag of mixed chocolates.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out
This is
to
mine.
all houses that give away full candy bars on Halloween because you're the dreamers that we all want and need. Like
The
they
lovers, the
give
dreamers.
the full. Like you give, like that was the ideal when I was a kid trick or treating. Like the full Snickers, or if you got a full like 2-pack
Just
Reese's
a
thing,
full-
you're just like, holy
Hell
shit.
yeah, the actual
Yeah.
size. Or you would
King
know,
size people are the
dude, some of those
fucking
families would do
craziest.
the king size, and you'd be like, we have to go to that house, and then you would just change costumes and go back. You
There
know?
was
Something like
a
that.
house that we were like friends with in our neighborhood when we were kids growing up, and we would go to them last, and we would get full size candy bars, and they would also give us $1.
What?
Yeah. Money's getting
Money?
involved.
Yeah, yeah. So
Dude.
they would give us $1 and full size candy bars, and that was always the last place we went every single year.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think because I actually now find joy in giving out candy to trick or treaters, like being just staying at home.
It's
on
funny
Halloween.
because we got to Huntsville and we were both like, it's Halloween. I hope they don't want to do anything. Like we were like, I want to. I hope they get trick or treaters, and I don't want to do it. Like I like giving it out. And in my head, I was like, if someone has a kid, like I'll totally take their kid trick or treating. Like I don't care. I just don't want to like go to a party or anything. Like that doesn't sound fun to me anymore. Like I don't really like dressing up. Like it's just. So I enjoy that kids enjoy it. So it's like, here, if I can help you enjoy it more, awesome. But otherwise, I'm going to sit here. We watched Fargo. That's what we did
both had
on
never seen
Halloween.
Fargo,
We'd never
so-
seen it, so we watched it. All right. We ready for my game?
This is a good game. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready for this.
Because you can't say anything negative about it. But I'm going to read you the most controversial Halloween costumes of 2015.
Okay.
You can tell me what you think or try to make it positive.
Positive spin. You ready?
Number
for this?
one, I feel like it's obvious and pretty easy, but Caitlyn Jenner.
Positive
And it is
spin.
the ugliest white dude I've ever seen wearing this.
positive spin.
Put a positive spin on a white, like a dude wearing
Dude
a Caitlyn Jenner costume.
dressed up as Caitlyn Jenner for Halloween.
Any press is good press. Helps with like get rid of get awareness
All
for
Transphobia, like, let's
try to
all-
eliminate
eliminate
transphobia.
Okay.
Even if the dude is doing it ironically, he's still helping, not realizing
He's
it.
still, and then people got to think about it a little
Yeah.
It
bit.
could
Okay,
do-
I
like,
see
and
what you're
plus people will
doing.
be like, "Who are you?" I'm Caitlyn Jenner, and they'll look it up, and they'll learn
And
about
they'll learn
like, who-
about it.
That's
Yeah.
true. I did have a friend who didn't know like what was going on, and we were like, "Okay, Bruce Jenner. Do you know who Bruce Jenner is?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "I only listen to NPR." I was like, "There's no fucking way that NPR never mentioned the fact
Yeah.
that this
The
was
fact that Bruce
happening."
Jenner is
Like, who
Caitlyn
are
Jenner.
you?
Can I say though, I actually had no idea who Bruce Jenner was
What?
until like probably a year or two before that.
I
Caitlyn
didn't
Jenner
know.
thing.
I will say this: I didn't know who Bruce Jenner was until Michael Phelps came along,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
and then Michael Phelps was like the most decorated
Right.
athlete, and then before that, it was like Bruce Jenner being a
Yeah.
badass.
I knew who Bruce Jenner was just for like mentions of athletics, and I paid a lot of attention to sports.
Yeah.
But then I'm not gonna lie, I paid a lot of attention to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like first 5 seasons, watched them
You kept up.
pretty much.
She
And Bruce
kept
was
up with
probably
the
my
Kardashians.
favorite. I was gonna say character, but he's
She
kind of a
kept up
character.
real good.
I kept up real good with the Kardashians.
Who was it? Bill Burr talked about. It was like he was just that. I didn't know it. I only knew Bruce Jenner from like being a badass in the Olympics and being the guy that shambled around in the background of that show that my wife watched.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he was. He
that
was
nobody
just like
listens to.
he would kind of like make witty comments and then just be there. Like
Yeah,
he never,
like-
and that's why I liked him. Like it was so, and honestly, like watching that show, you didn't really ever get and maybe that's why he wasn't in it that much, is because he really didn't want to show kind of what was going on with him. But he really never, you wouldn't have ever guessed
Yeah.
that's what was going on. So,
All right, are we ready for the next one? Are we ready for it?
are you ready for the next one?
Probably not, because I have a funny feeling it's not going to be. It's going to get progressively worse.
Okay,
I
so
feel like.
this one specifically is a sexy photo of this
Okay.
this costume, but I'm sure you could do it in a not sexy way. But it is Cecil the Lion.
Sexy Cecil the Lion.
Sexy
Well,
Cecil
see,
the Lion.
And here's and I feel like this. I feel like a lot of this is just going to keep going back to the same thing because again, it draws attention to the idea of poaching and how it's a fucking giant negative that people shouldn't do, and also how like rich white people are pricks.
But it might make poaching sexy, which is a problem too.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't realize this when I first looked at it, but the person in this photo is Ashley Benson, who apparently is an actress on Pretty Little Liars.
Ashley Benson. I do know who Ashley
Do
Benson
you?
is because she's
sexy, Cecil the
She
Lion.
is sexy. I will say that. I don't know about her being Cecil the Lion, but she was Neil Patrick Harris's sister on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So apparently she's like under a bunch of fire right now for having posted this
remember
picture
when,
and being like, I'm
Julianne
fucking
Hough-
Cecil the Lion.
Remember when Julianne Hough went in blackface
Oh, yeah.
for
Dude,
Orange is the New Black?
First of all,
By the way,
gonna
I'm just
say,
waiting for that because it's going to be one of those things. Someone's going to be in blackface in a
Don't
second on this
do-
list, I'm sure.
if you're like, oh, I think my costume needs blackface. No, please don't.
It doesn't.
Just choose a different costume ever. Don't do that. Like, that's not... All right, so Cecil, she looks fine. But, okay, and then a follow-up to that, Cecil the Lion Killer Dentist. So he is a dentist, but he's holding a lion's head.
That is.
So you're the guy who killed Cecil the Lion.
And
The positive spin. We
the
gotta put a
positive spin
on it.
is dentists. They have the highest suicide.
Oh, so positive spin. He's probably going to kill
Positive
himself.
spin is that he's probably going to kill himself soon.
No, don't do that.
He just didn't kill himself before he killed a lion. A beautiful species roaming the African wild.
Yeah,
But soon enough, he's gonna blow his own brains out, saving generations of safari creatures.
I feel rude. Oh man, there's different versions of it.
There's s'mores.
There's like blood on the bottom of his
Jesus.
dentist outfit. I don't know what they're called. Scrubs.
Dental
You got
uniform.
your
dental.
dental
I don't know if
outfit
those
on?
are scrubs
On his
or not.
dental dam.
On his
That is
dental-
not it.
There's blood on
That
the
is
dental
something
dam. That is
entirely different.
Yeah, you're doing something wrong if that's what's happening.
The dam has broken.
All right, what's the next one,
You
Monica?
ready?
Ready.
Sexy Donald Trump.
I will say this. I saw a sexy Donald Trump and a sexy Bernie Sanders together.
Oh.
And they were
Bringing
like,
we're
and-
doing bipartisan stuff here.
Yeah, and they were my favorite thing I saw all night. They were super fun, and like they
short
were
shorts
like
and shit.
yelling at each other all night, and it was super hilarious.
That's great.
And they both had campaign signs.
Yeah, I think the positivity out of that, I don't think that's controversial. I think the positivity out of that is it's making fun of it even more so people don't take it as serious.
It needs
because
Donald
people
Trump
take it
is a
too
joke.
seriously, yeah, and so it makes it even more of a joke because some people are serious.
Like
about
here's
voting
my
for him.
this is my big thing
great,
about
Brandon.
Donald Trump running for president, and everybody's talking about like, oh, he's a fucking reality TV star. I was like, I wonder if this is what it was like in 1984 when Ronald Reagan
Yeah,
ran
when
for
Reagan
president,
ran.
and they were
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
'cause
this
he was an
fucking
actor.
Western actor is running for
Right.
president. I wonder if that was the same like conversation that they had where it's like, oh, some fucking Western actor is not going to win president.
See-
but now it's like, oh, some fucking reality TV
Yeah.
show.
I
is
don't.
not
I mean,
gonna
I
Here's the
win.
wasn't there to
thing.
listen to Reagan, but was he
Western-
saying the most ridiculous
yeah,
things ever?
Western
It was-
actor is so much better than what Donald Trump is, though.
I
mean,
understand.
that's like because I think especially now in the age of like Twitter and Facebook, where he has a way to say ridiculous shit just whenever he wants. It makes it 20 times
Constantly.
worse.
I
Yeah.
just think someone
24-hour
that
news cycle.
rich can't possibly be able to relate to
anyone.
who's going to be able to vote for him. You know what I mean? Like there's 1% of people, maybe not even, he can't even relate to half of the fucking 1% because
No.
he's that much richer than them. So no one in like, he's not going to be able to say anything that's relatable.
Can I tell you my
Ever.
favorite? Can I tell you my favorite part about the Republican presidential debate we watched last
We
week?
did watch that, by the way.
My favorite part was when Donald Trump goes, "I'm gonna build a wall and I'm gonna make Mexico pay for it," and he like paused, thinking he'd get an applause, and everyone had said was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, like, why-
That's not-
Dude, let the wall
how are you
thing
gonna do
go
that?
is
Yeah.
what I
It's like
just
me.
keep,
It's
just
like
please.
me. It's like me going like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get a cheeseburger, and I'm gonna make them pay for it.
Yeah, you're like, "What the?"
That's
fuck
not how that works, dude.
I just felt like I don't know if I've ever watched like a Republican debate before it gets to like the actual election type of thing. Like this was
I've
very,
not watched
very
one
preliminary
party's
type
debate.
of right. So we watched it, and the whole time I was just like, okay. So they'd be like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and Hillary's a cunt, right? We can all like
Yeah.
fucking agree on that.
We all
Like,
hate
that's
her,
what I
right?
felt like.
Benghazi, suck it.
Exactly. They were like, well, if this doesn't, I'm gonna get Mexico to pay for it. No, okay. Well, Hillary's a dumb bitch.
We'll fucking hate
Can we,
Hillary.
Can we get on board with that? And I was like,
it was funny because
Jesus.
they always talked about Hillary. They didn't talk about Bernie Sanders.
At all.
I think they want to run against Hillary. They don't want to run against Bernie Sanders.
Oh no, because
I don't know. I think either one is going to they're not going to win. Like, I don't know who was like a viable candidate from that side, but
For the Democrats, it's going to be those two as a ticket.
Guys.
It's going to be her running with him as the vice president.
dude, I did not even
Positive
think of that.
spin.
Look at
Guys,
him.
Look at that. Controversial Trump got us talking about it. Sexy,
Yeah, talking about
Trump.
politics.
Sexy Trump got
We got
talking
political
about-
here. I don't like to get political,
That
but
actually would
Yeah, I don't
be.
either, man.
I mean,
It's the
either
worst.
way.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I didn't think
What's
about
the-
that.
we got time for one more, Monica.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for
Well,
it.
let's see. Is there another one? No. Okay, this is the last one.
All right.
So we're going Nicki Minaj and Kanye West. There's a lot of blackface
is it Nicki
happening
Minaj or is it-
in
is it-
this.
happening?
is it Kim Kardashian?
Oh, no, it's Nicki Minaj.
Why are they together?
That
That just makes me wonder. Like, is he stepping out?
there's
on,
a
on
Nicki
Kim
and
Kardashian?
Kanye, and well, there was a Kim and Kanye as
Positive
well.
spin.
But there's also the same Nicki. So it's at like a high school. It's the
Positive
worst of this
spin.
is that Kanye's there, but then Drake is also, and it's a girl.
There was a shitload of
But-
Hotline Bling I saw.
I bet. Yeah.
People that dress in blackface, positive spin, identifier for their assholes, and you don't want to hang out with them. Now you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Saves you
that's
a lot of
true.
time.
You
walk
I
in and
know
be
a
like,
lot of
that
time.
guy
It's like
is
That
not.
guy's a dick. We're not going to be friends.
If I
Moving
walked
on.
into a party where anyone was in blackface, I'd be like, "Oh, I have to leave." Yeah,
It's like that joke
I
you
need
had
to leave
tonight
right
where
now.
it's like
It's
yeah,
a douchebag
was it
identifier.
Jamie who's kind of racist.
Yeah,
No, I said that.
that's
I
a
said
real
that
name too. I try.
I
to
don't
use that in
think
the sound.
if you drive by with Confederate flags on your truck waving, I don't immediately think you're a racist. I do think you're like an asshole immediately. Like I don't go like super far, but I do think you're kind of
Dude,
a prick
and
a little
I think
bit.
it goes both ways too, because when I see someone where the back of their car is littered with like bicycle shit on it, I'm like, you're a douchebag.
If you
Look at their car.
if
That's
you
funny.
still have like a fucking Carrie Edwards sticker on the back of your car, you're a piece of shit.
Any bumper sticker that's
Dude.
been on there too long, I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, even
First of all,
including
bumper
Obama
stickers.
bumper
Who's still using
Bumper
those?
stickers. What?
Do you get a window decal? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I feel like the
You can peel it
biggest
right off.
the biggest bumper sticker market in the world is like Asheville, North Carolina. Whoever is selling bumper stickers
Really?
in Asheville, North Carolina is like a baron. Like they have
all
like
the-
a fucking fiefdom at this point.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Hey, so we're actually running really low on time, so we
Oh.
gotta take the quiz.
Oh,
Let's
take
do
a quiz.
it.
We're gonna take
Please.
the quiz. It's 50. We're at 55 minutes right
It's
now. We
which
have to take the
shitty
quiz right
Halloween
now.
costume are you?
So
No.
the quiz we're gonna do completely unrelated to
Which
anything
kind
we've
of
done.
racist costume?
yeah.
and it's a
Which
short
racist
quiz.
costume are you?
The quiz is which Greek god or goddess should you hook up with?
Should we
You
hook
know,
up
I'm a
with?
big fan of the Percy Jackson books, so let's do this.
Oh yeah, I need to watch the second movie. I don't.
It's not very Nathan Fillion's in it, so that's cool.
That's
But
cool.
So can I just ask Mike? You took it already.
I
no?
took it already.
Did you male goddess
happy
or
with that.
female goddess?
Male, and I'm happy with it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I feel like I would, if I was a god, I would
There's
be
some
Hephaestus.
pictures
There's
involved.
pictures. So you can probably
Have to
scoot over
lean.
here
Yeah,
so
I'm
I
a
can show you.
Shimmy.
Yeah, just shimmy over. The first is which hairstyle is totally BC beyond cute. So you have to pick one of those hairstyles.
Okay.
And tell the audience which one you picked.
I
I went with bottom left.
bottom. I do. That's good. It's very
With the
headbandy.
headband?
Yeah,
Like Blair Waldorf in Gossip Girl.
I'm gonna go.
I'm going bottom middle.
bottom middle.
I like the braid. I
the
think.
braids.
I'm gonna go very middle because she's definitely got long hair, but it's a lot of work to get those braids over the top. Like
I
she did
understand, I
some. She did
understand.
some. She did a nice
She's
up
putting
too.
forth the effort.
She did a nice up too.
All right, in your friend group, who usually starts the most shit? Lamia, those damn water nymphs, Pandora, the mermaids and Tritons, Cleopatra, or Diogenes. I think I said that right. Diogenes.
Diogenes?
Diogenes.
It's the damn water nymphs.
See, I picked damn water nymphs too. That's
Really?
I know my group of friends, and I actually have friends that like.
I'm having a tough time between Pandora and Cleopatra because Pandora is a music radio station. Cleopatra.
You only get 3 skips. That's it.
So,
Yeah, you only get 3 skips with Pandora.
that's
After
true.
that,
I'm gonna
it's a
go with
fucking
Pandora.
nightmare.
It seems-
Pandora does
We'll
cost.
argue about that.
Who do you secretly think is super hot? Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. The priestess of Delphi,
Delphi.
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 Sappho. This mysterious dude. He's right there.
Okay.
he looks
Got a
creepy.
creepy
He is
mustache.
mysterious.
Thisbe, a water nymph. Ugh, really? And then there's a picture of a dude laying down with just a smiley
Let me
face.
see.
I'm going with the dude laying
Who do
down.
I think is?
Make sure
It's
I
a
click
winky
it, 'cause
face.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with. I think Thisbe. I think Thisbe
Thisbe?
is secretly hot.
You got a hot crush on Thisbe?
I think I do.
You got to
Hot
choose your
crush.
squad goals next.
Ooh.
And there's a bunch of pictures. So which picture do you want as a squad goals? I picked the bottom left one with the people in the violins.
Pretty
dancing.
good squad.
People in
goals.
violins dancing. I can understand that. I don't want to lift anything.
You know,
Top left. That seems like a nightmare.
We just passed out together
passed
on a
out.
bench. There's 3 ladies.
I
just
like
passed.
me. I like me passed out with like my friends hanging out around me.
And fanning you?
Yeah,
or
fanning me. I like that one.
Which one's that one? That's, there it is,
middle.
the middle left. Yeah.
I don't think I want to be passed out.
All
It's
right.
during the day.
And this one,
Gotta
I
sleep
have
it off.
to-
I'm gonna
this
go with
one
the
I have
violins
to
and
click.
dancing.
This is
That's
the
fine.
last question.
Okay.
Which one did you choose, Monica?
I chose the violins and
All right.
dancing. Or just
Hottest
snuggling,
couple?
really.
Question mark. Orpheus and Eurydice. Thracian girl and Orpheus's head. Sleep and death.
Oh.
Echo and Narcissus. Apollo and Daphne. Hylas and a bunch of water nymphs. Summer
It's
and
fucking
winter, or Chiron and Achilles. I chose summer and winter. What do you choose?
Let me see.
Don't click it though.
I'm not gonna click. I'm not gonna click.
Wait,
You're gonna
is
know the
Chiron-
answer, and I don't
oh
want you to know
shit!
the answer.
Oh, what?
Apollo and Daphne.
I went Chiron and Achilles on accident. Really, but going for it.
Man, I don't know. I don't.
What really floats your boat, buddy?
Dude, I'm so dope.
I'm kind of digging. Like Echo and Narcissus sucks,
and
but
Narcissus
I'm
sucks,
saying
but-
I'm saying Apollo. I like they look cute
Apollo
together.
and Daphne.
They look cute together.
All right.
Maybe the most functional of the
Yeah.
couples.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. You and I got the same one.
Oh.
It's totally fine.
This is
Do you
more
want me to
reason
go
why
first, then?
we should go
Yeah.
across the country.
Monica,
Yours is a boy.
Mine's a boy.
Well, good. Then I didn't get the same one. I got Artemis.
Ooh.
Artemis is so cool. She's like always in the woods hanging out with animals, and she totally knows how to wield a bow and arrow.
Artemis is
She's
basically
stylish
Katniss.
as fuck.
She's Katniss Everdeen.
I really, yeah, basically, but also an extremely badass feminist. You know what? You should actually just be best friends with her because she's awesome. This is perfect. This is a good.
and she
quiz.
has like a tribe of
excited.
women,
I'm
badass
excited.
warriors
She's got a
that
little
follow her
deer
around.
I'm
that's
excited for
follow.
ours,
She can
Monica,
control
and you're
deer.
gonna find out when I read the description. You and I both got Apollo.
Fuck yeah, Apollo.
Okay.
This is the description. Apollo is so great, like his twin sister Artemis. He really
Keep it in the
knows
family.
his way
Got the
around
fucking
Keep it in the
same
family.
thing.
And he's a musician, so he'll serenade you if you want. He
So
has
we're all
kind of a
related
big
then.
ego,
This is what's happening.
but we can all relate to that sometimes. You'd have so much fun hanging out with him and his muse friends. Just don't get too attached because I think he might be in love with a laurel tree? Question mark. But yeah, so
Oh shit!
yeah, that works out.
Here's one thing that scares me about that. I'm not a big fan of dating musicians, which it makes it a nightmare because I'm in love with Taylor Swift. But
Oh, no.
I just don't want someone to write an album about how shitty of a boyfriend I am.
Would you
'Cause
throw
it
that to the
is.
wind if she was like, Hunter, we should probably stop?
I would, I feel like that would be the one where I would toss it away.
That's good. She at least
if Tay Swift wanted to date me, I'd
she
be like,
comes
write
out
an
with
album.
fucking platinum albums. It's not like
Right,
the
she
shitty
nails it.
things that-
1989 is wonderful.
Dude,
Dude, so that was a good one. Monica, do you have a charity you could tell us? Real
well, yeah, I was just gonna go with the Huntsville charity that we donated all the blankets to, and it's
Yeah.
called First Stop, and it's in Huntsville, Alabama, and they provide rehabilitation services, shelter, reintroduction to the workforce, things like that. And we donated blankets and stuff to them because it's starting to be winter, so things are going to get cold. So it's helpful. But if you're, whatever, obviously you're not in Huntsville, so
If you have a-
if you're not in Huntsville, you can.
If you have a homeless shelter in your area, blankets are cool, but also socks. Socks are like one of the least donated things to homeless shelters.
That's awesome.
And they are
Where's
very
the money?
important to have. So if you feel like donating to a homeless shelter in your area, socks.
That's a
great idea. Good
Well,
work.
Hunter, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Thank you guys very much for having me. This was fantastic.
All right.
it's
You
very
guys are
fun.
great.
You're
great.
Don't ever change.
Oh gosh.
All right, I'm going to go cry about space camp. What are you guys going to do?
I don't know. Go to bed.
Go to bed?
I'm going to drink.
You know Hunter, he's always on board.